Okay. So guys, a quick question. Did we discuss anything about registration portal requirement and as well as admin user vendor portal requirements? Did I explain anything about these requirements? So let me show you here. So one second, let me show you this application. So this is the application where we call it as a registration portal. User can select a product, navigate and fill the form and then get the confirmation.
Yeah, we already discussed about this. Yeah.
This application followed by user login and admin activities, all the things I have explained, right? Full in the application I have explained, right? Okay. So the task, I hope I have given some task for you on it. If not, I'm just giving a task now. The task that what you guys need to do is go over all the requirements for that application and try understanding them. Okay, as of tomorrow we don't have a session, I'm going to give some assignments for you guys on a test design phase. Okay, you guys need to practice. So what you need to do, the first thing here is, okay, the first thing is whatever the requirements that we have studied for the registration portal, followed by an admin portal, open the requirement one after another and try understanding those requirements. That's what the task for you guys. Okay, good. So now moving on to the test design phase. As we are a manual tester, our major role is to design a test cases itself. Whatever the test cases we are preparing, for the application, you need to analyze the application and you need to design those test cases. This is what the most important thing as part of this test design phase. Good. So the test cases, as said yesterday, we have a different templates. Okay, we have a different templates for different organizations. Only thing is we just need to form as per their organization templates. You need to create your test cases as per your organization templates itself. Other than that, there is nothing to do. So yesterday we have created test cases for Gmail login flow. So that's a basic thing for our idea. Whereas today we will see few rules to write down the test cases. Okay, we will see few rules in order to write down the test cases and let us write them. Okay, let's see a few rules and then let's write down the test cases as well. So for which I'm opening these test case templates, whatever we have used yesterday, and let me delete these existing test cases. Okay, so before writing the test cases, few things we need to keep in our mind. The first one is a positive flow and the second one is a negative flow. Positive flow means what exactly our requirement says. You need to do the same thing. Okay, and verify whether it is working or not. That's it. Whatever the flow they are saying, whether that a positive flow is working or not, we need to verify as part of this particular positive flow. Whereas a negative flow, in this particular negative flow, we will try a bit different and we will verify whether appropriate error messages are populating or not. Okay, so immediately a quick question will rise in our mind. Why the error messages should populate with an invalid scenario? A simple example. Yesterday we have seen a Gmail login, right? Assume that we as an organization developed the Gmail login flow and only for a valid credentials they are logging in. And if you enter an invalid credentials, nothing is being populated. Then you somehow pressed a wrong password, and if you click on a login, you are on the same screen. How would you know what is causing the issue? That's the reason an error message should display out over there so that a user can understand that. So in the negative flow, we will verify If we try in a different way, whether the application is not working or not, we need to verify. Okay, so the negative flow itself means application should not work. In a negative flow, if application is working, means we call it as a defect. Okay, an example for this negative flow is on a Gmail login screen, if you enter invalid password and click on a login button. Okay, this is what an invalid set of credentials, which is a negative flow. If you enter an invalid password and if you click on a login button, it shouldn't log into the application. If it is logging in, means there is an issue with the Gmail, which we are calling it as a defect. Got it, guys? So as a tester, it's mandatory for you to analyze both the positive flow and as well as the negative flow in the applications. Positive and as well as the negative flow should be analyzed, and you need to design the test cases accordingly. Okay, immediately if a question will rise in our mind, how would I know the negative flows? So the only thing is that comes with your analysis. Okay, you guys need to think in such a way that what are all the possible cases where application will fail. That's it. So what are all the possible cases where exactly the application will fail? You just need to think that and you need to write down the cases accordingly. That's it. So as a manual tester, one key skill important for us is an analytical skills. Okay, it's a mandatory thing for us basically. We need to analyze and then we need to write down the test cases accordingly. Okay, good. With that note, what we are going to do means let us start writing the test cases for the registration portal. Okay, I just want to write down the test cases for the registration portal. Let me open the screenshot. So this is what my registration portal is. On this registration portal home screen, there is the requirement they have given is choose the product type and click on a next button. You will be navigated to the welcome screen. This is what the requirement they have given. Okay, the requirement is saying that select a product and click on a next button that will navigate to a welcome screen. This is what they have saying. So I'm writing a positive flow. Test case 0001. User is on app home screen. Select the product or else verify product selection. Verify product selection on a home screen. What are all the steps to do that? Open the browser, open the app, third one. Okay, select a product. Fourth, click on a next button. So what it will happen if you click on a next button? Observe the page. So what is the expected result? Welcome screen related to that product will display. This is what an expected result. This is what my requirement is saying what to do, and I have created what exactly the requirement is saying as part of my positive test case. This is what my first test case is. Is this clear for you all? Deepa, Gayatri, Satyendra, and Shobhan, or any questions for you on this?
Yeah, got it.
No, yeah.
Okay, good. Done the deal. So what I want you, yes. So yeah, let's start with the Deepa. So Deepa, do you have any negative test cases for this screen? Any idea?
Yeah, if it will give wrong input, it should not accept that.
So the thing is, we don't have any option to enter the input, right? So
Yeah.
it will display the options. You just need to select any one of those options. That's it, no? So
Yeah.
there is no possibility for that, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, that's fine. Let me check with others. 1 second. Gayatri, do you have any negative scenario for this screen? Any idea or no idea? Fine. Shobhan?
Next button is not functioning properly.
No, it's not calendar is a negative test case. That's fine. I will tell you about that. Okay. Satyendra, do you have any negative test cases on this?
No.
Fine. 1 second. Let me explain completely about this requirement so that you guys can understand. So what your requirement is saying, you need to select any one of the product and click on a next button. That's what your requirement is saying. So the negative test case may be without selecting any product, if you click on a next button, what it will happen? It should not let you move to the next screen, right? So here, the test case, negative test case 0002. User is on the same home screen. Verify next button without selecting the product. Okay, without selecting the product, click on a next button. So what it will happen? Error message should display. Okay, good. Done the deal. So here, Shobhan has told one scenario, which is clicking on a next button is not working. If you click on a next button, if it is not working, that's what he has mentioned as a negative test case. So I will tell you a few points. Just tell me whether it is a negative test case or a defect. Deepa, Gayatri, and Sachender, you all can three, as Shobhan don't have idea on this stuff. So the thing is, until we got application for testing, we don't know what exactly, okay, we don't know what exactly the actual result is. As of now, we are creating test cases based on the requirement itself. It means we know only expected behavior, we know expected result itself. So the point here is, until we got application for testing, we don't know what it's going to happen. In such situations, we call it as a defect. It's not a negative test case. So one thing, whenever you are writing down the negative test cases or whenever you are writing down the test cases, it's just an assumption. By looking into the requirement, this is how it should work. Okay, this is how it should work, but we don't know how it will work until we got application or until we get application for testing. Okay, that's it. So if you are comparing it with this button is not working, it is not navigating to an appropriate screen and all those things, you don't know until you got application for testing. In such situations, we call it as a defect. In this situation, we are just assuming the requirement and we are writing down the test cases. Okay, perfect. Done the deal. So this is the way how exactly you need to write down your test cases. Okay, good. Done the deal. Any questions for me on this? Now, another thumb rule which you need to remember. If you are writing down the test cases and in the page, if there is only text, then, okay, if there is only text in that particular web page, then you can't feed in any values to that, which means there won't be any negative test cases. Okay, negative test cases for the screens which has only text verification. If some text is there and if you are verifying only that particular text, we don't have any negative test cases out over there. That's it. That's the ultimate point which you people need to consider. Okay, kids. So what I'm going to do right now, Let's go back to the second requirement. This second requirement is talking about a welcome screen. Only that text will display here. As said by one of the thumb rule, if some text is displaying, you don't have any negative test cases. You can say that whether the text is displaying or not, which is just a positive flow. This is a positive flow. Test case 0003. User is on a welcome screen. Verify appropriate welcome text should display. Appropriate text should display for the selected product. For the product, whichever you have selected, whether that appropriate text is displaying or not, I just need to verify it. Okay, that's it. Done the deal. Done up to here. And here, there is a next button and as well as a back button. Few people will say that a negative test case may be clicking on a back button is not navigating to the previous screen. See, basically, as per your requirement, only clicking on a back button should go to the back screen. That's it. Until you got application for testing, you don't know which screen it is navigating. At that time, we call that result as an actual result. And if there is a deviation between a requirement and a result, we call it as a defect. So as of now, we are just clicking on this button and we are checking the back of page functionality. So here, test case, okay, test case 0004. Verify back button on welcome screen. And the same way, verify next button on a welcome screen. So whenever you click on a next button on a welcome screen, company details screen should display. Okay, the same way, if you observe, if you click on a back button, application home screen should display. That's it. This is the thing how exactly you need to write down your cases, guys. Is this point clear for you so far till the second requirement or any doubts on this? Everyone?
Yeah, got it.
Cool. Done the deal. So what we are going to do right now is let us rejoin the session and let's continue with the next 3 requirements and let's write down the test cases.